All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off with the Russian non-combat phase between the game of Todestom versus me, Vic Weezy. I did the 12-9 attack, 12 to West Russia, 9 to Ukraine. The buy was 4 infantry, 2 tanks. This is what the board looks like upon Russia's mobilization turn: 1 sub in C-Zone 7, 1 infantry in Buryatia, and 1 in Szechuan. Round 1 for Todestom. His naval battle went disastrous as he tried to attack my UK cruiser. He lost both his battleship and a fighter to the UK cruiser. This left his transport exposed, and you best believe I'm going for that. He also had 1 infantry on the coastline for West Russia and the Caucasus, and then his battle in Ukraine just left a tank exposed for a counter. UK combat. I was able to clear out that transport with my destroyer. I attacked France, and he left behind an AA, which is uncharacteristic of Todestom. He's usually pretty calculated. So I also attacked C-Zone 7 with 3. I cleared out the transport in C-Zone 5, and I did my safety attack with a cruiser and fighter in C-Zone 61 to help ensure better odds, especially since the German battleship had already been killed. UK non-com. My C-Zone 61 attack failed, so both a cruiser and fighter were killed, and so his destroyer is still there. I slipped my Indian fleet through the Suez, and I helped set up my UK fleet by landing 2 fighters back in C-Zone 8. After UK mobilizes, the board looks like this. The C-Zone 61 attack really helped even things out and kind of negate the German battleship dying. Japan round 1, he went for Pearl and wiped it with usual odds. He also bought 3 infantry and 1 tank to have the option to place additional pressure on India in round 3. US combat round 1, the only attack was to claim Morocco. On US non-com, I shift all my ships over to move over to the European theater. Also noteworthy is a fighter lands in Gibraltar. During US mobilization phase, you can see a transport is moved up to C-Zone 10 to prepare to take Norway. Also, a fighter from Asia has landed in West Russia to help fortify in case there's a bad disaster. This is the war report after round 1, but it's actually after Russia's turn, so we've dived into a little bit into round 2 already, but it's a very even game, as you can see from the war report. Russia round 2, I do a mirror attack where I attack an infantry and artillery supported by a Russian fighter to both Karelia and Ukraine. Next, for non-com, I send 2 units down from the Caucasus into Transjordan to help bolster the defense of India. I also send troops in Asia back home, and then I pile in on West Russia to make an insurmountable defense for this round. Looking at Russia after the mobilization phase, as allies, we're looking very healthy right now, and Russia has a lot of key territories. Germany round 2, Todestom has moved his units up and stacked Karelia. He's also lightly retaken France, and he's moved his African corps into Egypt to see what I will do, to see if I will counter him. UK round 2, Rommel's going to get crushed in Egypt as I counter with a bomber and everything in range, and then I attack France and trade northwest Europe. During non-combat, the US fleet from Australia swings around South America and lands in Brazil. A cruiser is moved up to C-Zone 3 to provide support for the transport landing in Norway, the American transport. 2 fighters land off the coast of Egypt to help support the fleet in C-Zone 17. After UK mobilization, the board looks like this. UK has high income for trading France for a couple rounds. India is well protected from having Russian units aid in its support. For Japan, Todestom continues to shuck to the mainland. He has neither bought a factory nor has he bought additional transport at this time. America gets boots on the ground in Norway and Italy and then a bomber is used to target Karelia in US combat's turn. Round 2, US non-com. Destroyer and battleship slide over to the European theater through the Panama Canal. A cruiser goes up to support the UK fleet in the Atlantic, and then a destroyer slides in to help protect the transport in the Med. At the top of the screen you'll see round 3, because after I click on the mobilization phase it immediately goes to the next round. So this is still on round 2. My US bomber died trying to bomb Karelia, and this is what the board looks like at the end of round 2. Examining the war report for round 2, the game looks like it's very much in the balance, although allies positionally had the advantage. Russia round 3 combat. I attack both Ukraine and Belarusia, and I aid with fighter support. Russia non-com, everything is slid back into West Russia to fortify from Karelia. Belarusia and Ukraine continue to be traded. On the eastern front of Russia, an infantry is placed in each territory to block a tank blitz and to block an attack at the capital. Russian mobilization, I've got a perimeter secured around Moscow so there's no tank blitzing through. I'm also exchanging territory in Germany as well. I do have 2 Russian infantry in Transjordan to counterattack India in case I want to shift my UK troops out early. For Germany round 3, Todestom is continuing to keep his stack in Karelia. He's traded out Belarusia, placing the AA gun in there, making it harder for me to trade, and he's lightly taken Ukraine and France. For UK combat, I'm able to clear the last remaining unit in Africa. I'm also able to trade Italy, France, and Northwest Europe, and then I trade Burma. For non-com, I'm able to get my 3rd transport up to Eastern Canada. The 4th transport sits in the Med, so I'll be, with lots of income, I'll be able to buy a full gambit of ground units for both India and London. And this is what the board looks like after UK's mobilization phase. Japan round 3, Todestom has still stuck with 4 transports, no factories at this point. It's noteworthy that he's bought 4 tanks on the mainland, so he is going through with a pure tank rush. And he's also traded available territories that he can reach next to Moscow. US round 3, I'm able to clear a hole in Ukraine, and this will allow my Russian tank to blitz through and grab German territory. I also attack Southeastern Europe to gain more income, as well as Finland. US non-com, I move a bunch of ships off the coast of Eastern Canada to prepare for a Finland shock. And this is what the board looks like at the end of round 3. Russia combat round 4. I decide that I don't like Japan on my doorstep, so I get them off my lawn in Nova. I also trade out Kazakh, and I blitz through and I take some territory from Germany to up Russian income. Russian non-com, I have to make some concessions. I have to pull out of West Russia. I now move my stack down to Caucasus, so that way I can at least threaten Ukraine and keep a strong base there. Russian mobilization phase, you can see all the territory that Russia has grabbed. I've now earned 24 ICPs, which is great to produce 8 units. And I've also made Germany trade multiple territories, so the Allies are now clearly looking ahead. Germany round 4, Todestom's moved into West Russia to have a more advantageous position. This also leaves Karelia to be traded now, and he's made some light trades all around, which I'll be trading back. So Germany is quickly bleeding out and running out of options. UK round 4, I'm able to trade multiple territories and help reduce German income while also boosting UK income. I also trade Burma one more time as well. During non-com, I shift all my Indian troops west, and then I leave 2 tanks behind as well to help blitz through. My fighters are positioned in C-Zone 16 and C-Zone 5, ready to help attack. In Kazakh or Caucasus, they're also able to provide aid to Moscow as well. And here's the board after UK mobilizes. Round 4 is crucial for Japan. This is pretty much the climax of the game right here. He's got 2 Axis powers that are pinning Russia, and UK has to somehow find a way to get involved. US trades for more income and continues to bleed out German units while I figure out what to do with Russia. In non-com, I send a bunch of units north for a Finland Shuck, and the Axis know that their time is ticking, so they've got to make a move. This is the board state at the end of round 4. At the end of round 4, the attack power favors Axis. However, Allies have been trading down and wearing down Germany effectively, so it's just a few more rounds before Allies really take the lead. Just like a good horror movie here, things have gotten really tense. I've now got to make a decision here to try and strafe Kazakh and maybe lose less than 6 units, which can give me odds to hold. But this is my combat phase here. I do blitz a tank through Bellow, which could prove to be a mistake, as I may need that tank. I decide to trade down 2 units in Nova, and those are my attacks. During my non-com move, I move pretty much everything back to Moscow except for 2 units. 1 unit goes to Ukraine and 1 goes up north to Ark to prevent a tank blitz. But at this point in time, hindsight's 2020, I should have kept those units in Moscow. Upon looking at the mobilization phase, I definitely would have felt more comfortable if I had 2 more additional units here. Germany attacked, leaving me with just 8 units, and then I've got Japan ready to pounce and attack. It all comes down to UK. For all the marbles for UK, for my Axis and Allies record, I'm 0-3 all time against Todestom. I need a win, desperately. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Mom spaghetti, here we go. And we are successful. I'm able to land 1 fighter back in Moscow, the only thing that really survived. I have 2 additional fighters up in C-Zone 5 that could have landed in Moscow to help provide aid in case things didn't go too well. But man, what a 50-50 battle that came down to be. And this is what the final board looks like after that battle. I've got all the protection now, and Germany stands really no chance of taking anything back. Japan's too far away. And I've got a med shuck coming through, a Finland shuck coming through to help out and topple Germany. And here's the final war report of the game. Axis have 116, Allies 153. Too big of a lead, especially given the position that the Allies are in. We control the board. So this game has a bow on it and is done. This is the final board state here. I finally earned a win against Todestom. I'm now 1-3 versus him. 1 game was due to dice, so that one really didn't count. But the other 2, he did outplay me really well, and he's a hell of a player. Even to put himself in this 50-50 battle with losing ground just shows you how strong a player he is. I needed that luck to take that Kazakh stack out. If I didn't, then it'd probably be his game again, and I'd be back to the drawing board. But definitely learned a lot from playing him and other players as well, so that's what makes this game so exciting. Thank you for watching. I try to produce content every once in a while when I'm not busy, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks.